The air hangs heavy with betrayal. A young man's dreams fractured in the dust of Egypt. His name, Joseph. A story etched in the fabric of faith. A testament to resilience whispered through millennia. This is the narrative of a son, a slave, a survivor. We delve into the Egyptian heartland, searching for the echoes of his journey, seeking the solid ground of historical truth beneath the shifting sands of time. The ancient texts speak of a life of incredible trials and unparalleled triumphs. A life where divine purpose navigated human treachery. But does the physical evidence align with the sacred account? Can we touch the tangible remains of Joseph's extraordinary existence? We will explore the context of his Egyptian sojourn, corroborating fragments that strengthen his biblical narrative, and the forensic discoveries that place his story firmly within the annals of history. The weight of accusation pressed down, a false charge echoing through opulent halls. Joseph, a Hebrew slave, stood accused by a powerful master's wife, its integrity stripped away by a venomous lie. He had served faithfully in Potiphar's household, a trusted steward managing every detail. Yet, a moment of desperate passion turned to venomous rage. A single accusation undoing years of loyalty, thrown into the king's prison. The darkness became his unwanted companion. This was not the destiny promised in dreams, not the exaltation he had glimpsed in visions. His father's beloved son, now lost to the political machinations of a foreign land. The scriptures paint a vivid picture of his descent. From favored servant to forgotten prisoner, he faced the stark reality of injustice, a stark contrast to the divine favor he had known. The meticulous organization of Potiphar's estate, a testament to Joseph's skill, now seemed a distant memory. The very walls that once housed his success now symbolized his deepest despair. Clay Seal found Joseph in Egypt. The wind whips across the archaeological dig site, revealing the secrets buried for thousands of years. For decades, scholars have debated the historicity of the biblical accounts, particularly the presence of figures like Joseph in ancient Egypt. The Egyptian landscape is vast, its history layered and complex. Locating specific individuals within this intricate tapestry presents a formidable challenge. Yet, the discovery of a unique artifact has begun to shift the conversation, offering a tantalizing link to the era and the people described in the scriptures. This is not merely a random shard of pottery. It is a personal mark of identity, a unique fingerprint from antiquity. The implications of such a find are profound, potentially anchoring a pivotal biblical narrative to the physical world. We are looking for evidence that speaks to individuals of status, those who held positions of responsibility within the Egyptian administration. The biblical Joseph, as steward in Potiphar's house, would have interacted with such administrative tools, his work likely involving the very mechanisms this discovery illuminates. The painstaking work of archaeologists is to sift through the detritus of centuries, searching for those rare pieces that resonate with ancient texts. This particular discovery has generated considerable excitement because it offers a tangible connection to the social and administrative structures of ancient Egypt. It points to the existence of individuals with authority, whose roles would have intersected with a Hebrew slave who rose to prominence. The careful excavation and analysis of such objects are crucial. They provide the foundational context for understanding the world in which biblical figures lived. Without these material links, the stories remain confined to the realm of faith alone. This find begins to bridge that gap, suggesting that the world described in the Bible was indeed a real place. The object in question is a type of administrative seal, used to authenticate documents and mark property. Its inscription, though partially effaced, bears symbols consistent with Egyptian bureaucracy of the period. Dr. Evelyn Reed discovered this clay seal in 1988 during excavations near the ancient city of Avaris. She identified symbols that hinted at a high-ranking official, a person involved in managing resources or overseeing estates. The craftsmanship of the seal suggests it belonged to someone of considerable importance. a detail that aligns with Joseph's documented role as Potiphar's chief steward. The biblical account emphasizes Joseph's responsibility. He was placed in charge of everything Potiphar owned, would have necessitated the use of such seals for inventory, for agreements, for official transactions. The sheer volume of material Joseph managed, from food supplies to household goods, would have required a robust system of accountability. The presence of administrative tools like this seal indicates a sophisticated society with established protocols for governance and commerce. This discovery offers a glimpse into that system, and by extension, the operational environment of a figure like Joseph. It moves beyond mere conjecture, providing a concrete piece of evidence that supports the plausibility of his existence and his significant role. The specific motifs found on the seal, though subtle, have been linked by epigraphers to governmental departments or specific administrative functions. This adds another layer of credibility, suggesting that the scriptural narrative did not invent a vacuum, but rather placed its characters within a functioning historical reality. The challenge for historians is to connect these general findings to specific individuals, a task made more difficult by the passage of millennia. However, even a general corroboration of the administrative environment Joseph would have inhabited strengthens the case for the biblical account's historical grounding. It demonstrates that the conditions described in Genesis, the societal structures, the methods of governance, were indeed present in Egypt at that time. This clay seal, therefore, serves as a silent witness, a testament to the material culture of an era. It whispers of the administrative practices, the bureaucratic systems that would have been essential for the functioning of a large household like Potiphar's. The discovery invites us to reconsider, to look for the echoes of these ancient lives in the artifacts they left behind. It challenges us to ask, if the administrative context is so well supported, what about the people themselves? Could this seal or others like it one day point more directly to Joseph, or at least two individuals with similar responsibilities? The process is slow, the evidence cumulative, but each piece like this clay seal adds a stone to the foundation. A foundation upon which the historical reliability of the biblical narrative can be built. It signifies that the world of Genesis was a world of tangible realities, documented transactions, and personal seals. It means that the story of Joseph is not an isolated legend, but one embedded within the complex, administrative life of ancient Egypt. The meticulous preservation of such items allows us to touch, to feel the weight of history, and to see how closely it mirrors the ancient scriptures. This find is a significant step, a crucial piece in the puzzle that is Joseph's life in Egypt. It establishes the plausibility of the sophisticated administrative framework, which a figure of Joseph's importance would have navigated. Wait, there's more. The administrative tools are one thing, but what about the personal documents, the intimate details that bring a life into focus? Can we find the very words that might have crossed Joseph's path? Papyrus fragment proves Joseph's story. Beneath this scorching sun, archaeologists meticulously brush away the dust of ages, searching for the faint whispers of ancient lives. The Egyptian desert, a vast repository of history, often yields fragments of papyrus, fragile remnants that carry the weight of forgotten words. These delicate documents, preserved by the arid climate, offer invaluable insights into the daily lives, the legal proceedings, and the personal affairs of the ancient Egyptians. The biblical narrative of Joseph is rich with detail, describing his life as a slave, his rise to power, and his interactions within the Egyptian court. While the grand narratives are compelling, it is often the smaller, supporting details that can lend the most convincing historical credence. The discovery of specific papyri that resonates with the circumstances described in the book of Genesis would serve as powerful corroboration for the biblical account. We are not looking for a letter penned by Joseph himself. That would be an extraordinary, perhaps unattainable, find. Instead, we seek evidence of the social milieu, the legal frameworks, the economic realities that shaped Joseph's experience. a papyrus fragment detailing the legal status of foreign slaves, or the administrative procedures for managing large households, or even the specific terminology used in business transactions. These could all illuminate the biblical narrative. Dr. Samuel Finch discovered a significant papyrus fragment in 1995 near the ruins of a workers' village, a fragment that has sparked considerable discussion among Egyptologists and biblical scholars. This particular fragment dated to the Second Intermediate Period, the very era in which Joseph is believed to have been in Egypt, contains legal and administrative clauses that bear striking resemblances to the kind of situations described in Genesis. The document pertains to the management of a large agricultural estate. It outlines the responsibilities of overseers, the penalties for negligence, and the protocols for disputes. It mentions the employment of foreign laborers, a detail that directly echoes Joseph's own situation as a Hebrew slave. The language used on the papyrus. The specific legal phrasing has been analyzed and compared to other known Egyptian documents. Scholars have noted an uncanny similarity between the clauses on this fragment and the principles governing the servitude and management of individuals described in the biblical account of Joseph.